to the house. We are heading out to the driveway to shoot some hoops tonight because we got a lot of NBA playoff action to talk about. This is the House 755 podcast. So glad you're joining us. If you're joining us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. If you're joining us on TikTok, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. We appreciate all of our audience. So, we're just trying to grow here. I'm your podcast host, Noah Marano, back again with my co-host and producer. Benny the Bull is back in the house tonight, baby. He is here to root on his team from afar.
Hey, I'm just happy to be here. We couldn't crack it. But honestly, the way this playoffs is shaping out, I'm glad.
That's okay. Monday night's big night.
Big night for us.
For the city of Chicago.
Big
really looking forward to it.
I will be locked in.
Locked in. You might notice in the middle of our screen, we have a good friend of the pod, a guest that will be frequently a Braves fan through and through, a Georgia fan through and through. He will defend George Pickens to his dying breath. Mr. Lucas Musgrove, how are you today?
Great. Pickens, not great. But I'm doing great.
Excellent.
Did anybody ask Pickens how he feels?
Probably not.
I just feel like he's getting a lot. I feel like he's getting a lot of crap, but like nobody asked, yo, Pickens, how do you feel about the trade?
How do you think he would respond to that?
I'd probably swing on me.
The same way he did to Jordan Lewis.
That's got to be the biggest diva room we've had in a while for wide receiver rooms, like full-on wide receiver rooms.
Do you think it beats DK and George Pickens, which we had yesterday?
That's fair. Which diva room are you taking? Put it in the comments.
Sure.
Oh, man. All right, let's jump right into this playoffs. Round one just concluded. But we've got a lot to talk about because there was a lot of things that happened. Really, like, the only, like, upset, I guess you can call it, is the Nuggets, but like that wasn't really an upset. I guess the Wolves, because most people were picking the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people had the Rockets going in. A lot of people kind of knew what the 1-8 series were going to be.
I got some Warriors ones an upset too. Technically
speaking, yes. And based on the results, this is actually the first 6-7 matchup in playoff history, which I thought was pretty cool when I first heard that. That's going to be interesting. But it led us to some very exciting round two matchups that I'm very excited about. I think round two is baller. I think it's one of the better ones we're going to have in a while. So I'm excited to dive into it. Let's dive into a couple series that we can kind of skim through pretty quickly. One I'm really not even going to talk about. Thunder Grizzlies. Don't think we need to mention it. Any thoughts?
I forgot it happened.
I forgot it happened too.
It happened so quick.
So I will not talk.
It feels like a long time ago. And that's okay, Lucas, because of course we're going to have a lot of thoughts on the next series, which not too much to say, but we're going to give you a little floor. Cavs Heat. It was the largest differential at the end of the day in NBA playoffs history between a series. Point differential, that is. So how are you feeling?
Fine, honestly.
Hey, at the end of the day, y'all showed up.
Yeah, you did.
Well,
hey, we made the playoffs.
Y'all made an appearance.
Hey, we don't promise a championship. We promise a play-in.
That's fair.
And we win it. What happens after that? Who knows?
Pat Riley delivered. He delivered on all accounts.
Got to the playoffs.
He got to the playoffs, baby. I just don't really know. I want to take like a brief offseason snapshot with some of these teams that lost. Grizzlies, I don't really know where to go from here with them. They're kind of like who they are. And I like really the last move left is like, do we try and swing for something to get off Ja? Because like I just don't know what they do to improve their team at this point. They've got a good team.
I mean, a lot of them being the Grizzlies, and probably some of their fans, probably you guys, I don't know, are saying that if Ja was healthy, they take that, they win that series.
Well, Ja clearly thought so with his comments post games.
Yeah. All right, yeah, a few of them probably feel that way.
Yeah.
And I still like they're probably like just run it back. Run it back with the same team.
Hey, if that's how they feel, maybe that is the decision. I don't know. I mean,
they remind me of the Trailblazers with LaMarcus Aldridge and Lillard. Okay, it's fun, it's cool. They add in CJ.
Yeah.
Still doesn't.
It's just got a ceiling. It's got a ceiling that feels pretty evident at this point, and I just don't know if they're ever going to bust through. Because I don't know if we're ever going to get a fully healthy Ja season. Like, I just don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, yeah, maybe not, but like, I don't know. I just feel like the infrastructure is like there.
Yeah.
And like with Desmond Bane, JJJ, Ja, like I like it. but it's also like just like not enough shooting.
No.
Like obviously Desmond Bane, can shoot that thing, but I don't know. Jaws just put his head down and dunk on whoever's standing in front of him.
Yeah.
And JJJ kind of, likes that mid-range elbow kind of spot. So high post. I don't know, man. It's like maybe they can get like a piece that like really kind of gives them another
More of a
go.
superstar.
But they are with the team they have, the infrastructure they have. They are like a playoff team. I just don't know if they can go all the way.
Yeah. No, I got you. Heat, Lucas. Where do we go from here? What do we do? I know all the Giannis rumors are going to fly this summer. I know all the KD rumors are going to fly this summer. What do you do? What do you do with this team?
Even with the team, like we lose in the playoffs, I'm never really upset to an extent unless it's like in the finals. But like there's always some kind of security in knowing that like we aren't a location that has to draft. Like we can get free agents, but we do draft good at the same time. And I'm not worried. Like the team got a lot younger. We have 2 guys. This is who's gonna stay, who's gonna go, how are they gonna fit that next piece in? But like as long as Pat Riley's alive, and even if he's not, like Eric Spoelstra's taking that spot.
That's
so
fair.
Good.
He's gonna pull a pop eventually. He's probably just gonna move up, and that's gonna be.
Well, he already pulled a pop.
Yeah, he really
and then
did.
Came back and
he
won.
He now is the pop too. He's the longest tenured coach right now. So, exciting stuff for him, really. Yeah. What happened to Jaime Jaquez this year? Was it just an injury thing? He kind of quietly did nothing this year after having like a really cool rookie year.
I think it was the rotation after Jimmy left because you get Slow-Mo, you got Davion, and then they were trying to play Ware. So like,
true.
You got Tyler, Davion. You got 2 big guys. Where does Jaime kind of?
I just think Jaime.
Is he going to play small forward?
I just think I think you play him at the 3. I think Jaime's better than Slow-Mo.
Yeah.
They like Highsmith at the starting though.
Huh?
Or Highsmith, sorry.
Highsmith.
They like Highsmith starting.
Yeah, Highsmith's.
I agree.
He's just a rotation guy to me.
I like Jaime a lot.
I think you give Jaime the floor to grow.
He's smooth.
Yeah.
They also are playing Pele too, which is our other rookie.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Ware too. I think his season was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. I think you play Ware at the 5, Bam at the 4.
If he's kind of your center that you've been missing that can play next to Bam, and if that can grow a little bit more, that's something to be excited about.
Yeah, Bam's like AD. Like he can play the 5, but like really, I think he shines at the 4.
You don't want him playing the 5 unless you're trying to go like small ball, which is not really what they're trying to do down there.
That's what I'm saying. Ware is so good. He's such a good rim protector.
Yeah.
You put him at the 5, put Bam at the 4. I think personally, you put Jaime at the 3. And then you rotate, some of the Highsmith, some of those guys.
Yeah.
It's nice that you have depth at the 3-4 kind of position with Highsmith and Slow-Mo. And then Davion, I guess, is kind of more like a 2-3 situation. So, I mean, you guys have the nice depth. It's just the sad part is you would have to sacrifice some of that depth in order to get another, big hitter. Obviously Tyler Hero and Bam are great. I think they're both Robins.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Unless one of them can take a leap, but I don't see Hero ever taking that leap. Maybe Bam.
Maybe, but at this point,
I agree.
Bam would have made that jump. He would have made it by now.
That's fair. It's also very fair. So
no, I think Bam has done it behind the scenes. It's just not incorporated on the court yet. But the thing with Tyler is, I do think Highsmith's playing to help Tyler on defense. And then we also had a rookie at point guard, so you kind of have to have a defensive guy there.
Yeah.
But from hearing like people talk about the Heat, I think Bam kind of had to step up when they had like a 10-game losing streak. So that's when they kind of figured out who's actually going to lead. Now Bam's not going to give you like 30.
Yeah,
bro.
But
I wouldn't expect him to. That's the wrong expectation.
Honestly, bro, with the way your team's built, man, I think not to say you like steal their style or anything like that, but like you guys could easily be another Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, you could.
Easily.
You could start it up.
Easily. Like you guys
Bam will stretch the floor. He'll run.
Exactly. You guys in run because you guys have the depth and you kind of like built like them. A little bit different. But what I'm saying by that is like you have the depth. You have like the star player. Like your Hallie is your hero, and your Miles Turner is your Bam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. And I think you guys have that depth. So I think your greatest weapon is to use that and run.
Yeah.
But you guys gotta play defense because Indiana plays defense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So,
we used to play defense.
All right. Awesome. 10 minutes on the Heat. Love it.
The Magic
Magic time.
Yeah,
Magic
they
Nope.
matched. They
Good
matched
minute.
up well.
They matched up. Hey, to be fair, they did what I thought they could do with the 3-point line. They forced the Celtics a lot into like, hey, just beat us and with your two primary guys on ISO, and they kind of just did because their guys are just better.
I mean, Derek White beat you one game.
Yeah,
so.
and Derek White also just single-handedly beat us one game. So like,
Yeah.
and that's what we knew with the Celtics going into this is like if two of their guys aren't stepping up, they've got three other guys that could potentially just have a great night, and then it's just over. I'm just glad we stole the one. We almost stole two. We came so close to stoling two, and really putting some. But tell you what, we put some miles on that friggin' Celtics team, man. We were beating them up. We gave Porzingis stitches. We gave Tatum a wrist injury. I don't like people. There's a lot of tweets going around about like how dirty of a team we are, and I was like, I like watching the games. I don't really feel like it's that dirty. I just feel like we're a physical defense. But no, yeah,
That's what they typically say about physical teams.
100%.
Is that they're dirty.
100%. Yeah, listen, we all know what we need. I need health and I need shooters. That's main thing. I sent Lucas a really long list the other day of all my offseason like wants and needs for this team, and I kind of did some research into the cap and stuff like that and what we could do. Paolo's probably going to get probably around the 48 to like 50 million mark extension per year. So that's going to take our cap up a little bit, but honestly, like we're kind of in the same position every team is right now. No team really has like a whole lot of cap space. And before the Paolo extension, we actually have a good amount compared to everybody else. So I just think we kind of need to look back and do kind of almost what the Pistons did, which is just like, let's target some really dang good veterans who can actually shoot the ball. And honestly, we can probably steal a couple of those Pistons players if we really wanted to, depending on, paycheck. But I don't think we're going to. The one player I'm referring to really is like Beasley. He's going to probably demand a bag that's too big for us. And honestly, he's probably going to stay in Detroit. They're probably going to offer him a bag.
They want to run it back.
But he's an unrestricted free agent. And so is Tim Hardaway Jr. And we're going to get to some of the Pistons stuff later. But like those are players that like we kind of need to form up around our guys. But no, I've unfortunately really set my eyes on two big players. And then I have like a list of 10 players that I'm not going to go through. But that like if we got any grouping of the 10 of them, I'd be okay. The two big players is I don't care what it takes. We need to offer Miles Turner as big of a bag as we possibly can this offseason. He's an unrestricted free agent. And if we can somehow lure him away from Indiana, that would unlock unimaginable things for our team.
It's wishful thinking.
It's very wishful thinking. That's like the biggest wishful thinking I have.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it. We can offer him a bag. I just don't know if he's going to want to leave Indiana.
Can you offer him a finals run?
I mean, not next year, but building towards that, I think so. Like he's the big in the middle that can stretch the floor a little bit more that we need. Plus, this is all under the impression that we're getting rid of Wendell, we're getting rid of Gary, we're getting rid of Houston. I actually kind of want to sign Mac to like a 1-year deal and give him a chance. See, because he's a great 3-point shooter. I think just giving him some minutes here and there to shoot the ball might do him some good. And then also the rumors are definitely heating up about Anthony Simons, like pretty heavy. Our president of basketball operations and our GM were both on interviews this past week talking about the goal is like win now, steps now. We are in now, like we are making win now moves. We're no longer being pacifists about it. And Anthony is a heavy rumor on the mill about that. Like we've already been in conversations with him. I even texted you guys. He was at the game a couple nights ago with Penny Hardaway's son. So I think that's like number one on the list priority. Get him in the door. I don't care what it takes. I think everybody is on the table. I would say I don't want Black on the table. Anybody but Black is on the table. And honestly, I think we can do it with just draft picks and backup players alone, like trading wise. And his salary hit will work inside the current cap situation that we have. That, and then we just got to make moves on the margins. One guy I really want is Luke Kennard. I think he's one of the top 3-point shooters this past season. He's been for a while. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. He's not going to cost a lot. There's also a couple other guys who are like really cheap that are not going to cost a lot that are all unrestricted free agents. Seth Curry is one of them. Older guy, get in the room. He can just shoot 40% at the clip. Can't play a lot of defense, but like he doesn't need to. We got great defense behind him. So I think that comboed with some health, comboed with the growth of hopefully Paolo and Franz, that will elevate us to a place where next year I feel like we can actually compete to get to the third round versus, just hoping we get to the playoffs and then hopefully we get a first round win. But yeah, that's it. I mean, like that's all we got. it's the same song we've been singing all season. We need shooters. We need health. That's really it. So, but don't mess up like we did with Shaq. Give Paolo the bag immediately. Let's not fool around with that nonsense at all. So that's it. That's all we need to talk about the Magic, unless you guys got some overwhelming thoughts.
No, I just want Giannis in Chicago. So
That's fair.
That's all I was thinking
I
about.
did hear somebody was throwing around that we should go after Giannis. And we could, but I don't really. I heard some people talking about it, and then I heard another person talk about it, and they were like, "Yeah, we want to not shoot, but just in a different way." It's like that's all we would be doing. I want no part of the Giannis stakes.
Yeah,
I want
why
zero part
would
of
you?
it.
Because he's just going to take touches away from Paolo. And then
It would probably also cost us Franz. We would probably have to trade for. Not probably. We would have to trade Franz.
yeah.
So,
But I want him in Chicago.
I agree. And we got some Giannis stuff coming in a minute. Other losers from the first round, Pistons. I think you showed a lot. And honestly, I think they just need to take the route that the Rockets have taken, that to some extent the Magic and Thunder have taken, which is like, let's just run this back. Let's grow another year. I think they could be really good next year. Like, and if this series was taking place next year, I'd probably be much more inclined to pick the Pistons.
Me and Lucas are on the same page. Lucas, I'm going to go real quick, and then I'm going to give it to you because I know we've talked about this, and we both feel very strongly Pistons should have won that series.
Yeah, I agree.
There's 2 games that 100% the Pistons should have won. No questions. I think 9 times out of 10, Pistons win those 2 games, and it just so happened we got the one scenario where the Knicks pull it out. So proud of the Pistons. Gosh darn it. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they showed the moxie and they showed the fighting spirit that they did. I love the season that they had. It's just good to see Detroit good again.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's just fun. They've been bad for so long. And so I was really rooting for Detroit. Not that I hate the Knicks or anything, but like I just love to see those young guys compete. Yeah. And I know I'm gonna go into it later, but I want to say the Thompson twins are absolute freak athletes.
Unreal.
And Charles Barkley said it on TNT. I'm gonna reiterate it because I 100% agree. Those 2 guys are the most athletic guys in the NBA, and it's
not even close.
just they are.
Not even
They
close.
are number 1 and number 2, most just absolute freak athletes. So impressive. Anyways, go ahead, Lou.
For me, it's actually also a little bit combining the Magic. Both of these teams, someone I want to see since the season's over go to them is Minnesota's going to have to pay a lot of people. Alexander Walker's coming up. A couple other people are coming up. I want to know who's going after Nas.
I have him on my list. He's a long shot. We just would have to give him a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
So I think it's the
He's
same
worth the
thing
bag.
of the
He
Pistons
is worth the bag. Pistons too.
and the Magic. Are they going to build inside or outside? Are the Magic going to keep building some centers and power forwards to move Paolo to the 3?
Yeah.
Which would be interesting. Or are the Pistons going to get another guard to move Cade to the 2?
That would be interesting. You think they need to do that? I kind of like him running the point and running the offense.
I think if Jaden Ivey's playing, I want to see Jaden Ivey.
That's going to be interesting with him back. It is.
They were playing really good with Ivy.
They were playing
really good with Ivy.
Sorry, Ivy. That's Cole Anthony's fault. Apologies.
Dirty team.
Another dirty team.
No, it's just the Pistons. Like the Knicks did enough at the end to win.
Yeah.
Got through it. Cat didn't get in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of stayed in the game. Made sure they didn't have to dive too much into the bench. And then you could see even though the Pistons have depth and vet depth, there were still some mistakes late in the game that they haven't been there.
Yeah.
Even the vets haven't been in that spot in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is why I was saying next year, I'm like, no question picking the
even the
Pistons.
way they lost too. It's like you just like can't be mad at it because they quadruple teamed Cade. And Cade kicked it to the second best 3-point shooter in the league this season. And he just fumbled it and it went out of bounds. So it's like you live and you die by that.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like Malik Beasley was a phenomenal shooter this season. So you live and die by that.
Mm.
And then the play right before Asar getting broke. Yeah, he got broke.
He's playing probably the best we've seen someone play
on Brunson
ever.
There literally two consecutive defensive plays right before that. He strapped up Brunson.
Yeah, he was frustrating him, man. He came out and said it after the series. Brunson was like, that was a struggle. Like I hated that.
Yeah,
not fun. Would not recommend.
So it's like the result happened, but if you're the Detroit Pistons, you're not
No.
hanging your head.
No.
You're just like, okay, they did
No.
enough to beat us. A SAR on Jalen Brunson, that scenario, you take 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that, the result happened. So you definitely are not mad at that.
I agree. All right. We're going to take a quick break because I think Lucas is going to dip out. Appreciate you, Lucas. We will catch you on the
Go Heat.
flippity flip. All right. So we are back. Next series. Next loser we have to talk about. Similar vein as the Pistons. Rockets here. Again, they're going to be the biggest name in the sweepstakes of free agents this offseason. I've already heard a ton of it. Just because they have so many pieces that they don't use on the bench. Cam Whitmore, Reed Shepherd, all these guys. Jalen Green, he's probably going to be the big piece centered around everything. Potentially Şengün, depending on who they're going after. But they're another team, man. Like I wasn't surprised when they took that 7 games. And it took 2 freakish outings from Fred VanVleet, but it's not that freakish because like Draymond said, he did it. That's the reason we lost the finals. Was because of Fred VanVleet. So like they, man, they're just going to be really good from here on out, man. These young teams that are coming up, both these teams, men's the truth.
It's just, I don't know. I'm very curious what they're going to do because like when the lights turned on, like Jalen Green didn't show up. And so like he, over the last few years, has been the face of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And like before men got there, before Fred VanVleet got there, like he was like the guy and he was putting up Batman numbers, but just had no really supporting cast in Houston. And so now when you get these pieces, they outshine your star in, when the lights turn on. So it's like, I'm not saying get rid of Jalen Green, but like, do you get rid of Jalen Green? Like you could probably get a good amount out of him. Like he's still worth something. Like he's a fantastic player. But now that you kind of got a men who I think is like just better.
He's just better, man.
He's just better. I just like, why don't you try and go and get some other pieces and build around a men? As like crappy as that is to say. Or you just run it back, with your core, and you maybe add a couple. You lose a couple pieces, add a couple pieces, and whatnot. And you like the Jalen Green, the Jalen Green, Amen Thompson duo. It's just, dude, that was really bad from Jalen Green. Like he was doing nothing.
He unfortunately just is like another Zach LaVine to me, which is why I feel like he's probably your first piece out the door.
Dude,
I just don't know if he can.
Zach LaVine was giving you at least 30 a night.
My main point behind that or comparison is just the fact that like he is an offensive like tank, and he can be that guy on a team. I just think he's always going to be a good stats bad team guy, which is like he can. I just don't think he's like a winning player for this. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see him as being that though, and I feel like Amen, like you said, is just better like already. And the idea that Amen, like if he develops a jump shot of any type, he's going to be like a freakish all-star for the next like 10 years. And so that versus, like I'll get some 40-point outings from Jalen Green, but like, I don't know. I just see him as a more effective trade piece, especially if it keeps you Şengün.
Sure.
Because like
Şengün showed up.
Because you're going to have to sacrifice one of the two. If you're looking to trade for a big piece this offseason, a la KD, a la Giannis, we'll get to that later, like you're going to have to sacrifice one of those players. So, like, if it were you, like, which one are you giving up? You giving up Şengün or you giving up, Green?
Şengün is literally he's I'm not calling him Jokic, but he's like a Jokic-esque player, where he gives you kind of everything. He scores, he rebounds, and he gets the assists. He's like I put him and Sabonis in the same like level. Like, they're the same like player to me.
So you think like his limit is like Sabonis? Like he's never going to be anything more than just another Sabonis in this league?
Yeah, but that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I would take Sabonis.
It's fair.
I would take Sabonis in Chicago right now. He's an all-star.
Yeah,
and he's just a guy that gives you maximum effort and a maximum efficiency.
Y'all just won't have any more defense then. I would like to see him in Chicago though. I think that'd be fun.
No, I don't want Sabonis, but I'm just saying like calling Şengün another Sabonis is not an insult.
No.
I don't think it's an insult by any means.
I agree. I don't know. Like, I think they're gonna be in the trade. We'll see what they do, because they could definitely just run this back and grow another year, and have everybody elevate. similar to these other young teams, or they could make a splash and go after one of the big guys on the table.
I don't want Giannis there just because I want him in Chicago, but Giannis would be interesting.
Giannis will be interesting.
And then hot take, I don't think KD is the answer to people winning championships anymore.
I don't think he is either. I
think people just keep throwing around like, just add KD. And it's like, okay, but so did the last 5 teams.
Yeah. It didn't work.
And like, it's like, you won with the Warriors. It's just like, okay, but like, come on.
Yeah. It just,
Did he not have arguably top 5 player all time?
Yeah.
and Draymond Green have an infrastructure that of a championship.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I just don't think he's the answer. Anyways.
No, I'm seconding that thought. All right, let's get to it. Bucks. Last team in the first round. Let this serve as an example of what not to do once you've won a championship.
True.
Which is let's give away Drew Holiday. Let's do whatever the hell they did with Chris Middleton. And just not draft well over 4 years.
I think like, hey, we gave it a shot.
Yeah.
And,
I agree.
And I think it's time to put this puppy down. I think whatever we're trying to do in Milwaukee, I think it's time to just let it die.
I agree.
I get it. Right after you won the championship, we're chasing the flame. They were still scary.
They almost went went back to the finals the next year.
So it's like, but it's just like where we are right now. Like we got desperate with the Damian Lillard thing, and I just think that we just need to let this dissolve.
Yeah.
And rebuild, and we need to let Giannis go to Chicago.
The problem is right now they can't really tank because they don't have any picks of their own. They've kind of given all those away. So unfortunately, like if this Giannis trade is happening this summer, they're going to have to just kind of try and compete as best as they can.
Dude, does Chicago have some role players for you?
Oh, there's a lot. So
we are role player galore.
Let's get into this because if this was the last game that Giannis was playing for the Bucks, some trade partners. I brought up some to the table, and I know, of course, Chicago lies with your heart. Just want to present some other ones as well. But for the case for Chicago, I do think that would be very cool. I don't know if you'd be able to compete for a championship immediately.
Nope.
So I think that would be like the biggest turnoff.
But on Monday when we get the first pick, and you automatically just bring a Cooper Flag in with Giannis, I think that's going to be fire.
The question is though, you're gonna have to give up that first pick if you're getting Giannis. The Bucks are not engaging in conversation with you if the first pick is not on the table.
No shot. I don't believe that.
What are you gonna trade then?
All of our role players. You're rebuilding anyways.
I don't think that would work like you think it would.
We can give future picks. We're not going to give our number 1 pick.
I just don't think that's I don't think that would work. I think if you get the first pick, it's like that's for sure gone.
I disagree. I think you can still have a conversation without being on the table because that would be our future. Is the Cooper Flag's the whole vision? It'd be the Cooper
I agree,
Flag
and
Giannis.
that's why the Bucks would want it. That's why they'd be like, "Yeah, here's Giannis. Take him. Give me Cooper Flag."
Yeah.
Next team, Knicks. If they lose here in the second round, potentially could fire their coach. Kind of looked really iffy. Doesn't really seem like the Bridges thing has worked to its full potential that they thought it would.
Really?
He just
made a game-winning play.
Yes. Yes. Well, no.
Yes.
Not in the first round.
True. He has played every single minute.
No, I'm not saying the fact that he's been an Iron Man. I'm just saying like he hasn't given you the necessarily like the greatest like offensive outputs that I think you're looking for. That's my only like.
Is that why you brought him?
I don't know. I kind of think it's like it should kind of be. He was putting up like 30 to 40 points a game in Brooklyn.
Yeah, when there was nobody to pass it to. I think you bring him in for what he did in Phoenix.
So then who do you trade for Giannis? Cat?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't even know if New York really necessarily is a destination because, like, think about how that would work.
They'd have to give up either Bridges or OG probably, just to get close to making the money work.
Sure, but why give up OG?
Oh no, you don't want to give up OG. He's been fantastic.
But even if you give Bridges, sure, give Bridges because Giannis is better than Bridges. Like, I don't know what would that look like?
Like, what would the team look like with Giannis without Bridges?
Yeah, and it's Brunson, Hart, OG, Giannis, Cat.
That'd be a crazy 5, though.
On paper.
That's a crazy 5.
On paper, but like, how would that work?
Well, Giannis, I guess, would technically play your 5,
Brunson has the ball 98% of the time.
but like he can run pick and roll with Giannis, which is what's important with Giannis. That's what can get him like in a different phase right now, where he doesn't have to be.
So
the guy
Giannis just turns
slashing
into a role guy.
No,
like-
I'm not saying that. Because Giannis,
No, like a pick and roll. So he just turns into a role guy.
yes,
I didn't mean a role as a role player. I
Yes.
meant a role.
a role guy. Yes, a role guy.
So that's what he turns into.
Yeah, no, I think, but like, I don't know. Just your defense, I think, immediately is taken to a whole nother level. Immediately, like you're sacrificing the defensive bridges, but like you're getting one of the best defensive players in the world, and you're also getting a guy where like now Cat can move into being the third option, which is like, hey, spray some threes, but we don't need you to give us that. We've got Brunson, we've got Giannis.
Interesting. I don't think Cat would be happy with that.
I mean, he kind of did it in Minnesota. Not like really, but like he kind of.
Who's the second option? Then?
I guess more like he was more willing to take a more backseat role.
To Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, but I mean Giannis. That's the same thing. Like taking a backseat to Giannis.
But turning into
the
a
best
Robin,
3 players in the world right now.
But turning into a Robin and turning into an Alfred are 2 different things, I think.
I don't know. I think he'd be fine. If not, trade his ass.
Fair enough.
Fun teams.
Okay.
Pacers. He would run like a deer around that court all the time. With the pace, I feel like he would just work really well.
So who do you replace? Pascal?
You probably trade. It's hard because maybe it's a sign and trade with Turner to make the money work.
Yeah, I just think the chemistry they got like works.
I agree. You don't want to mess with it too much, but like, listen, if the Pacers get to the conference finals again and they lose, it's like, what do we need to get to that next level?
I just think what we've seen in recent history is just signing a guy that is, I don't want to say Giannis outside of his prime, but like just signing a big name isn't necessarily the answer.
I just think this is a little different with Giannis. I feel like a lot of those players have been
who
a
are
little bit
winning
later.
who are winning championships right now? Teams that are what?
They're all homegrown and they're all full
Homegrown
built, but
built.
like if you're sacrificing either one of Siakam or Turner and you're just replacing them with Giannis, I think they'll figure the chemistry thing out. Like I'm not too worried about the chemistry being their downfall in that case.
I think what makes the Pacers work is that like Hallie is their leader and like he's their guy. When you bring another alpha into there, I just think that's what kind of it gets a little.
We're gonna
funky.
see if Hallie can prove it. I don't know if Hallie can carry them to a championship. That's the problem. Like, and if that's the case, you're gonna need somebody else.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like he's the leader guy, but it's like I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's
He
like
can be the leader without being the best player on the team. He can. I think that's 100% on the table.
I don't know. It's just like I feel like an alpha like Giannis would. I don't want to because I don't want to say Giannis is like a team wreck or anything, but like I just think it would affect things because the relationship that Miles, Pascal, Hallie they have right now, it's working. And I know like I think Hallie has it. I know a lot of people are like hate Halliburton for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I think he was a big factor in that Bucks series.
Yeah.
I think he was making some game-winning plays.
I think he's a fantastic player. I'm just not sure yet if what they have currently constructed can ever win them a championship. As good as it is. And that's like what I'm coming down to is like, if you hit that wall, you hit that ceiling, like something needs to change, regardless of how good the chemistry is. And I still think like they're deep enough where that chemistry is not going to be altered by replacing 1 or 2 pieces with Giannis.
I just don't think they're stalling right now. I think they're better than they were last year.
Listen, I'm not saying they're doing this as a desperate move. I'm saying this is a move that I think could take them to another stratosphere.
But do you make a move like that when you're seeing improvement from year to year?
If you lose in the conference finals again, yes.
Even when Nembhard took a jump, you've got
Yes.
Neesmith took a jump, and you've got.
I'm not saying I'm trading them. They're staying on the team.
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
Giannis is not the guy where like he's gonna come in and I think he's gonna demand his 30 points. Like if Giannis wants to win, and if it takes bringing his point total down a little bit to share with these other guys, let them develop, let Hallie cook the offense, I think he'll do that. Like I don't know why you're thinking that he wouldn't. He would suck up so much of the air in the room.
I just think these two teams, I don't think would
Oh, I don't
be
think
a
they would
great
trade.
fit.
I don't think they would trade.
I don't think
together.
they'll trade. And I don't think he'd be a great fit. Now, you mentioned kind of Houston earlier.
Oh, I'm getting them.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So these two, I would say thumbs down.
Okay. Gosh, I'm really trying here. You're really shooting down my fun. Grizzlies. We talked about them being a team that just hit a ceiling.
Yeah, they need more shooting.
But what if you trade Ja? Something packaged around Ja.
Who runs the offense?
Bane, Jaren Jackson, Giannis. Brandon Clark comes back. He might be in the deal, but he doesn't. He's back. You don't really need him, though. You got Gigi Jackson. You got Scottie Pippen Jr., two great, fantastic players growing.
It's funny. A lot of people hate Pippen Jr.
Well, listen, I don't know if
He played his heart out.
I don't know if the basketball community hates. They might hate him, but like analytics guy love him, and like
He plays hard.
A lot of people covering the sport like think he's just a good. Like I'm not saying Scottie Pippen Jr. is something crazy.
Like Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, he's a great like role guy.
Just good,
Yeah.
solid dude.
But I don't know. Could be interesting.
That one could be interesting.
Could be interesting.
I don't. It's just that's not a win now move.
You don't think? I think if you have Giannis and that many good players around him, I think it's win now. Because Giannis just becomes your alpha,
Yeah.
and then you've got all these great guys around him.
Maybe.
You know,
But it's like JJJ is just a little bit better. Brooke Lopez.
That's really you think? I think he's the better Brooke Lopez.
I mean,
Currently constructed.
I mean, he's just a little bit better of a little bit younger Brooke Lopez. Like, cause like he's a rim protector and space the floor kind of guy.
But that was working. We saw that was working.
Yeah,
That's how they won a championship.
for sure. It's just I don't know if Desmond
Bane basically becomes your Drew. You know,
yeah,
got better wing shooters, better wing players, just more than Milwaukee had.
I guess it just would not be fun to see him in Memphis. but
wouldn't just not fun.
It'd work.
That's the consensus. Not fun. All right, Clippers. Send Harden packing.
They love Harden.
I don't know.
They already come on and said the GM came in and said Kawhi and Harden. I believe in them. He said it.
We'll see if they flame out. If they flame out, what do you do?
Well, I mean, what do you mean they flame out? They're already being brought back next year.
They're flamed out. Like they couldn't get past the Nuggets. They gave away a series to the Nuggets.
They did give them
collapsed in monumental proportions, as the Clippers always seem to do. And Harden gave you 7 points in the last game. Send his ass home. We don't believe in Harden. Playoff Harden doesn't exist.
Listen,
he's not a person.
I personally would think that'd be fun to trade Giannis for Harden. I just know that the team's not going to do it.
Can you imagine the claw with Giannis, bro?
That's going to be lit.
And that good of a team around him? Because they're deep.
Norman Powell.
Batum spraying threes everywhere.
Batum took a sip of the fountain of youth, dog.
He did, bro.
I love his.
He was cooking.
I love his no bend 3-pointer. Like he catches and shoots. It's crazy. It's the most efficient thing I've ever seen in my life.
One team that's been heavily rumored they're going to take a run at him. The Spurs. This would be a nightmare hour for the league if this were to happen.
Freaking combined.
They would have to trade probably Castle and probably some other pieces.
Which is sad because I like Castle.
But listen, Fox, Wemby, and Giannis as your big three
would be not fun.
That's
at that
scary.
point, you just live and die by taking every shot as a 3-pointer. You just don't even step foot in the paint.
Yeah, that would be
not fun.
That'd be crazy. Be terrible for the league.
That would be annoying.
Be terrible for the league.
So bad for the league.
If Fox was still with the Kings, I would say the Kings should take a run at him, but he's not. Suns swap KD and Giannis. Shoot the Suns some bail with not really a lot of picks, but just to get out of the KD situation.
They're in hell with money.
Honestly, it really doesn't work because none of them have picks. Nobody has picks to give.
That is hell.
It's just like maybe swapping play. It's like if they in principle agreed to swap Giannis for KD.
Yeah,
that's really it though. I don't know. Booker and Giannis would just be really fun.
Booker and Giannis.
That's why I like it. That's really it though.
They'd be a lot of fun.
Pelicans swap Zion. Swap
no.
Zion and Giannis.
Please no. No, because McCollum is just a worse Lillard. And I don't even remember. BI's not even there anymore, isn't he? No,
he's not.
No.
He's in Toronto. He's in Toronto.
It's just like,
Yeah.
no, it's just a worse Milwaukee.
No.
Yes. Without Zion, it's just a worse Milwaukee.
Atlanta. I don't know if you'd have to give up Trey.
Oof.
But
yeah, if you have
maybe-
to go trade now.
I don't think give up Trey, but maybe give up Jalen Johnson. Maybe give up Ricochet.
Yeah, definitely don't give up Dyson Daniels.
No. Him and I would say he might be
Untouchable.
actually your only one that's completely untouchable.
And Trey. Because Trey would be
I mean,
to
but
make
Trey's
it
just
work.
been in the rumor mill for so long. Like, if they told him, like, hey, like, the only way we're doing this is if Trey's on the table. Like, I could see them saying, like, okay, like, let's
But
talk
like
about
I think
that.
it only works with Trey.
It's fair. It's 100% fair from the Hawks' point of view, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. Warriors. That would really give them a
So
kick in the ass to go for one next year.
Who would they have to give up?
That's the question.
Kaminga. Imagine if you only had to give
Honestly, send Kuminga to the Bucks. Let him do whatever the hell he wants for the next 3 years.
up. What, is he just going to turn into Kyle Kuzma?
He's going to turn into Cam Johnson. Is what he's going to turn into.
Fair enough.
It's going to be awesome. It's gonna last team. If Minnesota loses Naz Reid, what do we trade to get Giannis in the door with it?
So, but are we keeping Randall?
I
I don't like Randall there, but if
maybe
you
not
give,
necessarily if you have to give him up for Giannis.
So you're losing Naz Reid and Randall to
Yeah.
to get Giannis.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you get Giannis.
Naz Reid is your heart.
You got a lot of really good young guys, though. I agree. Naz Reid is. They got to sign Naz Reid back. They absolutely
so.
have to.
That's the heart of their team.
But they do have a lot of young guys that actually made a lot of noise this year. Like a lot of rookies. Like Terrence, what's his name? Terrence Shannon, something like that. Out of Illinois. He played really well. They had another kid who was playing phenomenal for a while. But DiVincenzo's there. He's kind of a good, just like gadgety guy. You still got Nickeil Alexander-Walker that you probably bring back in. Still got Jaden McDaniels. Still bring back in. Like that's a damn good starting
It
five.
is. It would be really good. I just don't keep Randall because Randall would mess it all up.
You
But the
can't.
idea of Ant and Giannis and then that supporting cast,
Yeah.
would be.
I just think those teams would be. I think my personal favorites would probably be the Clippers, the Wolves, and the Bulls. I don't want to see him go to the Rockets. That's going to be what's talked about all year.
Yeah, I don't want to see him go to New York, LA.
I don't really care too much
or-
about the Knicks either. I think that would be interesting just for the power struggle of the East, but I don't care to see it.
I don't care to see him go to a contender, if that makes sense. I care to see him go to a team he makes a contender. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to see him go to a Knicks or an LA or because I know I assume he wants to go to a big market team because
He does. It's been reported he wants to go to a big market.
So, but
team.
I want to see him go to a team that he makes them a contender.
Another one I didn't really mention that could use him. I just don't know what you trade. I do know what you trade for him. The Lakers could make that work.
Yeah,
You're giving up Austin Reeves.
you're giving up.
You're
Braun.
trading Austin Reeves.
Trade Braun.
You think Luka, Austin Reeves, and Giannis, and just trade Braun to Milwaukee? Well, he's no trade clause, so that wouldn't happen.
That wouldn't have. He would say, "Hey."
But Reeves, you could definitely send in the package.
Yeah, but a LeBron, LeBron can play with anybody.
I know. And Luka
LeBron,
kind of
yes.
can't. Luka's got the same like smarts wise that
For sure.
LeBron has. So like I could see them making that work as well.
That would just be. No. I mean, it would be cool, but
It would be.
I really don't want to see.
The
that.
reason I thought of that too is the whole Kareem dynamic. Kareem moved from Milwaukee to
Interesting.
Lakers, became same kind of arc.
Yeah,
It would be very similar arcs at that point. So I'd be very interested to see that.
be interesting.
But hey, that's I of course I hope he goes to the Bulls.
Thank you.
I think it's a long shot, but I'm hoping for the best. And if not, I hope you get that number one
If
pick.
he doesn't move, he's a free agent next year.
I thought he has 2 more years on his deal. He's
That
got
was
one more year.
that was before this year.
Okay,
Yeah, 2
sick.
years.
So nightmare scenario for you guys really would be just like not getting number 1 and having no chance of Giannis.
Yeah, that would suck. But if we could build and prep and then hope and pray that he stays in Milwaukee one more year and we sign him.
That is also true. That would honestly, that might
take the
actually
year-
be best case scenario for you guys.
That probably is because we don't have to trade anything. We figure out the role players we like.
Mm-hmm.
We basically just take this next season to decide, all right, who's going to stay and play with Giannis? The rest of you,
Gone.
gone.
To the shadow realm.
So we're just drafting like, hey, in the interviews, hey, so We like you. We like you. The pick we have. How do you think you'd fit in with Giannis? And he's like, but Giannis isn't. I understand that.
No. Answer the question.
We have a 3-year plan. Understand here, son. Okay, we're running a business here. How do you think you'd fit in with Giannis? Are you a sit in the corner and wait for the? Are you a pick and roll kind of guy, or what we think? I think that's how we need to kind of act. Like we know we've already got him in the bag next year.
Lovely. Love that for you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see I'm sad to see Giannis leave Milwaukee, but listen, you got a championship out of it.
You did.
It's all you can hope for. Really is.
Sure.
Should you have capitalized more? Sure. But you got weird injuries. Shouldn't have probably lost to the Heat as many times as you did in the playoffs, but you did. Lost to the Tatum throwing up 50 points on your head in a game 7. Like, things happen.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, let's get up to some of these matchups with the last 15 to 20 minutes that we got here. Round 2. Let's go to the first one. Gonna be a doozy. Thunder Nuggets.
Yeah.
Absolute roundhouse of a first round.
For sure.
All these matchups are gonna be fantastic. But
dude, I want to say, like, if this is just, I mean, I feel like last year was solid. Last year was actually not yet. Last year was okay. The West was really fun.
yes, the West was really fun.
The East was not.
Not at all.
But I will say the East is really fun this year.
It's very fun.
So if this is like, and the West is still really fun.
Mm-hmm.
If this is just like what we're gonna be getting from here on out because there's so much talent in the NBA, I am
Thrilled.
so thrilled.
Now all you got to do is figure out a way to fix the regular season so we can watch the whole thing.
Yes. But even if then, maybe that's gonna be like a 10-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I just gotta wait till playoffs, like,
Yeah.
dude, it has been cinema.
It's crazy because, like, first round, I texted somebody about this. It's probably the best first round I've ever watched.
Ever watched in my life.
But
in my, like, with
a
my
lot
own
of the
eyes.
series ended like in 5 games.
Sure,
4 or 5 games.
but they shouldn't have.
But they shouldn't have. And a lot of
Which
them
makes
were
it still
really,
great.
really close nail biters. Like,
Every
we had
game.
so many game winners just already.
Detroit and New York, I think it's in like
Yeah, it was close.
the
wasn't it?
lowest point differential in NBA history.
Yeah, I think it was before the series ended, but at one point it was literally like 3 points. And
I
was
think
like,
I think
wow.
it ended like in total. The point differential was like all the games combined were decided. I think by it was 9 or 15. It was
That's
one of
crazy.
those two numbers. Still very low.
That's extremely low. But man, Thunder Nuggets. This is gonna be fun because it's matchup of the MVP favorites.
That's true.
So that's gonna be interesting. Russ going back to Oklahoma,
True.
beloved Russ in Oklahoma City. Yeah, man, I don't know, like young,
It's
inexperienced team
this
with the
is-
best record in the league against the heart of a champion.
This is what's interesting is the Chet and Hartenstein, like just them, like the bodies they can throw at Jokic.
Yes.
I think this was gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Because like Chet is the length that could
Mhm.
bother Jokic just because he's so long,
Mm-hmm.
and those little hook shots that Jokic is doing and whatnot, can affect it a little bit. And then if Chet, you want to like switch him off, then you got Hartenstein who can bang with Jokic, who's got the
Yeah.
body and the strength to like be physical.
Yeah.
So it's like you can, depending on what you want, you can throw it both at Jokic. And then, you've got just athletic wings.
You got a ton of
So
great.
you can
defensive players.
you can switch on Murray
Lou
with
Dort
everybody.
just being out there.
Lou
is-
Dort, Jalen Williams,
Yeah.
like you can, when Murray comes off these screens, you can just switch.
Mhm.
And so it's like it's gonna be really interesting. I'm very curious to see how the Nuggets are just coming off a very, very competitive series.
Grueling series.
What,
for
they won
sure.
6 games,
7.
7
Down the
games.
last 7, they blew out.
That's right. They went 7 games. So like the Nuggets are in like survival mindset. OKC we're just picking dandelions out of the park. And so it's like, I wonder now when they meet, it's like
rest versus rust, baby.
so it's like, what's gonna, is it gonna take the OKC like a game or two to kind of like really kind of get back
Yeah.
into the mindset?
Yeah.
Or are they just gonna come out the gun hot? They've game planned, they've rested, and they're ready. So it's gonna be really interesting to see.
I'm just really interested to see whether this is going to be the classic tale of an inexperienced team versus just a champion, or if the Thunder have enough talent to get this done.
I think this is very important for the OKC. Like, they got to win this series.
Oh, they cannot go out in this
if
round.
they go out again in the second round,
Yeah.
like it just like raises a lot of questions.
It does. It does. And I think, too, they're honestly another team that they have enough to go swing at Giannis if they burn out here in the second round. That would also be terrifying. And I don't know what it would take to get it done, but
Yeah.
Um,
They have a lot of picks still.
they have a lot of picks, still have a ton of cap space, and they have so many players that are just on
And
the
then they're
board.
gonna have to pay people after this year, so it's
Yeah.
like they really do need to win now. Now, if they get through the Nuggets, I will say the Western Conference Finals will probably be a little bit easier.
You think?
I think both teams on the other side of the bracket, they have to go through their series
That's
to
fair.
get to the Western Conference Finals. And I think just the Nuggets are just, if you get over that hump, I think both those teams might be a little bit easier than Nuggets. who
They're
have
kind of the
championship
reigning
ex-
devil of the Western Conference right now.
If they're beatable.
Yeah, they're beatable. I'm just saying, like
They're
they're
beatable.
like the kind of the guy you have to go through
True.
right now.
Yeah.
I know they didn't make it last year, but like they came within a game of being away from
I'll
the
tell you what.
conference finals. So
Yeah, I'll hold that. But like,
yeah,
I don't know. They got to go through them.
I think the Thunder are gonna get it done. I'm not overwhelmingly confident in it just because of Jokic and because of what they showed this last series.
He's an X factor, bro. I'll tell you. that.
Because Aaron Gordon's playing out of his mind right now.
You know what it really is.
Hmm.
You know what? Because you know what the Clippers series was. The Clippers had the better team.
Yeah.
I'll stand by this. Clippers had a better team than Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets just had the best player in the world,
I agree.
and it just sucks.
I'm gonna burn the fire on this phrase, but I think they just legitimately have the heart of a champion. They just know what to do when the time arises.
Yeah.
And whether that's Jokic, whether that's Gordon, whether that's Murray, like that, they might not have as good a team as they've had in past years, but like they still have a lot of the same
To think-
pieces.
It's the thing that they got by off an Aaron Gordon
Yeah.
game-winning putback.
Yeah. They also came back in game 1 when they had no business winning that game.
That is also true.
So like they also could easily be out. That's just how close the playoffs have been this year.
Yeah,
Like a lot of these teams could have just been out.
for sure.
And they're just here. So yeah, I'm excited. I've got OKC games. I'm gonna say 6 because Jokic is not gonna go out in 5. There's just no way.
So they got to win in Denver.
Yeah, they gotta win 1 in Denver.
Or
If they're
Two-
the team we've seen all season,
do they have to win 2 in Denver?
they got to win 1 in Denver, unless
in
they
Denver.
drop 1 in the first 2 games.
They have to win 1 in Denver.
Yeah,
Man. Unless they lose home court
unless they
advantage.
lose home court advantage in the first 2 games.
Oh, man. It's tough to win in Denver.
It's so tough to win. Even as I'm saying it right now, it's so tough to win in Denver, bro.
You can.
If they're the team that I think they've been all season, then I think they're going to get this done. And I think they're going to get it done in 6. I'll give Jokic 2 games. Absolutely. And honestly, I don't even think like any of these games are not going to be like within the last couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Decision-wise.
I think we go. I think I gotta put it behind. Yeah, so we did talk about it before.
Mhm.
We put our picks in because I knew conversation was gonna sway me.
The conversation
So
is honestly swaying me right now.
we
too.
had to put in stone.
We're trying to talk ourselves into the Nuggets right now.
No.
Really?
No,
You're not? Okay.
I think the only thing I would change, because we did cement our picks before because we wanted
Yeah.
to make sure.
Yeah.
Is I would just put OKC in 7.
7. I don't hate that.
But
I don't hate that. If you want to change that, that's fine.
I still think OKC pulls it out.
Yeah.
I'll write 6.
We'll die with 6.
We'll just die. We'll just die with it.
We'll probably die, but that's okay.
We'll die with it.
Lucas is the only one of us that had the Nuggets. Had the Nuggets in 7. 7 games though. So
Yeah, he did have 7 games, and yeah, he's been on the Nugget train this year.
he has.
He does. He also I think he just doesn't like OKC.
No, he does not like
He
OKC.
does not
And
like
if he were
OKC.
here, he would say the same thing.
Yep.
All right, next series, which I know you're gonna keep a keen eye on. Wolves Warriors.
Yes.
Man. So, first 6 versus 7 ever.
Which is like, yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, these 6 and 7 seeds are.
They should not be 6 and 7
if
seeds.
if you look at that roster, you're like, they were a 6 and 7 seed.
I'm just interested to see like the Warriors just went through a really long series.
They did.
That's my only, and we'll see like what the Wolves come back and do. I think the Wolves match up well with them. I just think we've seen the Wolves do this last year where like they went through an incredible round and played like phenomenally, and everybody was like, they're the world beaters, and then they just stunk it up in the Western Conference Finals.
They
So
just
like,
ran out of gas.
if they can avoid doing that again, then I can see them going very far in these playoffs. But I don't know what I'm getting with the Wolves. I don't know which one it's going to be.
That's where I am at with the Wolves. Is like, I think they're going to run into the same problem as last year. It's like they obviously went through LA in 5. Now they got to go through the Warriors, and then let's say they do pull it out. If they do pull it out, they got to go 6, 7.
If they face the Nuggets in the conference finals, bro, that's gonna
after going 6 or 7 with the Warriors. Granted, same can be said about the Nuggets on the other side. If we're saying
for all
the
these
Nuggets,
West teams, it's
really
an absolute
all of them.
gulag for these
It's
teams.
just that the Wolves have proven that they run out of gas if they get there. So it's like, I don't know. Anyways, I like the Warriors.
Yeah, Warriors were your championship pick.
Warriors were my championship pick. I still do like them against the Wolves, even though I was picturing them playing LA in this round. I still do like them against the Wolves. My only thing is Rudy Gobert.
Mm-hmm.
And so the problem with the Warriors is that they don't really have a big.
Yeah.
Draymond is their big. Now, I like the Houston matchup because Sengun is also an undersized big.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I felt good about Draymond, guarding him.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert is a big guy.
He's a big dude.
That being said,
Draymond's gonna play him though.
Yes.
Yeah.
That being said, either Draymond knocks him out and he can't play anymore, or 2, the Warriors play a brand of basketball that warrants Rudy Gobert just cannot play be on the court.
Yeah.
I think that's what you need to do.
You have to get him off the court if you're the Warriors.
You have to get him off the court.
Yeah.
Because he's going to do what he did in Game 5 against the Lakers. It's he's going to give you because that's what happened to the Lakers. There's nobody to now Draymond's going to fight.
Yeah.
Draymond's going to box out hard. He's going to play like really hard. But at the end of the day, like, you need to play a brand of basketball where you abuse him to the point where he can't be on the court.
Yeah. And that's what's tough with the Warriors for me.
And if you've got Randall or Naz Reid playing your 5, you feel good about that and Draymond.
Yeah.
Guarding.
The Wolves are just really big. That's like, and they showed it against the Lakers. They're going to show it against the Warriors here too. You have to, like, you only have 2 of Draymond and Jimmy. So who are they covering? Because like Draymond's going to have to be on Gobert if he's on the court. Like, I love Jimmy, but you're not putting Jimmy on Gobert. Maybe you can. I don't know.
No, you don't.
But I wouldn't. So Jimmy's got to guard who? He's got to guard Ant. Well, then you've got Randall.
It depends on how they play.
For sure. Because then you've got
switching.
Randall, you've got Nas out there as well. As like, do you have to throw Jimmy on a Randall? Like, I don't know. And let your guards kind of just, it's not going to be great, but play against Ant. I don't know. Like, let Ant just kind of do his thing and take everybody out. But that's my thing with the Warriors. I just don't know if they can overcome that simple problem. It's like I think the Wolves can just attack everywhere.
Even if you can't get Gobert off the court, I think even if you give Quentin Post minutes, it's not the end of the world.
Maybe.
He can battle.
He
with
got
Gobert.
kind of played off the last series, but this is different.
He was too
different
big,
team.
too slow.
Different
team.
For sure.
So if they do play big, you could go Quentin Post.
You could.
And Quentin Post on Gobert.
Tracy Jackson Jr. I heard, is that his name? Is their other like center? They've got another center back there.
They do.
I heard he was in a lot of lineups against the Wolves throughout this year when they played them too. So he could also be a guy. Maybe
you move a Draymond to Julius.
Yeah. That would honestly be ideal for the Warriors. If the Warriors can figure that out and get like you said, get Gobert off the floor, that's gonna do wonders for them.
But even if you can't get Gobert off the floor, they have pieces sitting there.
Yeah.
Just last series wasn't their series.
No, not at all.
So and Steve Kerr is not below him to go to his bench.
1,000%.
If he has to figure out, it's like it's a chess match.
Yeah.
And if he's got to go get his pieces.
Listen, I mean, I'm proud of us because we said before the last series it's going to come down to Randall and Gobert, and they held up their end of the bargain. It's going to kind of be the same thing throughout this entire playoffs. Like, that's not really going to stop. Like, if they can continue to be what they were in that Lakers series, they're going to be really freaking hard to beat.
Yeah.
Really hard to beat, especially if Ant's playing the way he is.
Yeah, but so are the Warriors, bro.
Oh, I agree. I'm not saying anything against the Warriors.
Because like everything everything Ant can do on offense.
Oh yeah.
So can Curry.
Oh yeah. I've got the Wolves in 7 in this series. This was the only thing I switched around from my original playoff bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna live and die by the Wolves. I'm okay with that. If they lose and I'm wrong, fantastic. I can definitely see them losing this series. Would not be surprised. But I'm gonna stick with the Wolves in 7. I think they've got enough to overcome this Warriors team.
Gotcha.
But I know Warriors are your how many games? Do you say how many games?
The Warriors are the 7th seed, right?
Yeah.
So
Game 7
Wolves,
will be in Minnesota.
I think they could win in Minnesota. That's the thing about the Warriors. They're a great road team.
Yeah. They're just experienced.
They're so experienced.
I mean,
That's
I wouldn't.
what it is.
They can win anywhere in the league. Doesn't matter.
So I'm gonna go 6. They do it in front of their peeps. I just think I don't know. I want to see it. I want to see it from the Wolves. I want to see if they run out of gas or if they're for real.
If they get through this series, are you picking them in the finals, the conference finals? No matter who comes out the other side.
No matter who comes out the other side. Oof.
Still don't know. Still don't know.
Yeah.
Still don't know.
I still don't know.
That's okay. Cavs Pacers. This is funny that this is happening because all year long we've really said that like the Cavs are just like the Pacers but better.
Yes.
So this is just going to be a very fun series. I'm very interested because Cavs are one of the most crazy offenses in the league this year, and Pacers are one of the fastest offenses.
I said this in our group text the other day. I'm really sad. I love this matchup.
Yeah.
Really sad that they're playing each other.
Yeah.
Really would prefer one of these teams, most likely the Pacers, just because the Cavs obviously number 1 seed, be on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah.
And a team like this is putting miles on Boston.
Yeah.
And then just put the Knicks up and play the Cavs.
Yeah. Kind of didn't work out for the Cavs that they got the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Ironically, like that's why you get the 1 seed is so the 2 and 3 go and play each other.
Yeah.
And not play you early. And it's kind of happening to them.
It just so happened that
Yeah.
it just
because like against the Knicks, I think that'd be more favorable for them.
for the Cavs.
For the Cavs.
Yeah, just because the Pacers, the thing about them is they have so many bodies.
They have a lot of bodies.
And they're so versatile.
They're so deep.
They're very deep and they're fast.
Yeah. And all their role players are just like good. There's dogs.
They're all dogs.
They hustle. They play really well.
So it's like not going to be easy.
No.
And that's I don't want Miles put on the Cavs. I want Miles put on Boston.
Yeah. I think the Knicks can maybe rough them up, but
the Knicks will
I don't know if it's going to last long, but they're going to rough them up.
That's what I'm saying. But we just had that with the Magic, and they did a good job of not a long series, but a physical one.
Yeah.
So maybe it is good for more physicality.
Yeah.
Just keep beating up Boston.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got. I've been a big Indiana guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was big on them last year.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I don't love that the Cavs have to face them. So, but I'm going Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go Cavs in 7.
Yeah, I also said Cavs in 7. This Pacers team scares me.
Yeah.
This Pacers team scares me a lot.
They're good.
They're really freaking good.
They're good. I
so
think
fast.
the Cavs have the we've said it, and I think it holds true that the Cavs are just a better version of the Pacers.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a series.
It's going to be a series, man. It's going to be long and
That's
grueling.
not what I want for them, but
Garland, he wasn't playing for all the Heat series either.
So
I'm interested to see if he plays. Just like anything. Hope he does. Hope he's back.
Gonna suck.
Last one, Boston, New York. Go New York, go New York, go.
Oh man.
I think this is a quick series. I think Boston takes this in 5. Like they've beaten up the Knicks all year. I just think Boston is just the big brother to this team. I just don't know if the Knicks have enough to get it done.
Man.
Like I know they got we're gonna see they got these 2 wings specifically for Tatum and Brown.
It's true.
That's why they went and got these guys.
It's just Brunson is so beat up. Like
Yeah.
he was getting destroyed in this Detroit series. Like he kept leaving the game like with little like annoying injuries, and it's like Brunson's got the heart of a lion, so he like is gonna play through anything. But it's just like when he does that, you just get an injured version of Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
You get an 80% version of him. You get So I mean, sadly, ultimately, I do have Boston.
How many games?
Man, I don't think it's going to be a super long series either. Do I give the Knicks 1 game or do I give them 2?
That's the question. What you think they'll steal?
I'll give them 2.
2 games. So Boston and 6.
Boston and 6.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, those are our picks. So
they win in New York.
yeah, I think Boston can do it. Boston
can
weirdly has
do
been
it.
better on the road this year than they have at home.
Yeah, I know they can do
They
it.
put up
but
stinkers at home.
It's still not going to be easy in the Garden.
No, I don't think it's gonna be easy at all. And I am curious to see if Drew's coming back because he's been not the healthiest.
Yeah.
So
They need him.
they need Drew in this series
because
for sure.
that's one thing. It's like if you have somebody like Detroit had a Sarr to really annoy Brunson,
Yeah.
it hurts. It hurts the Knicks.
Hurts. Yeah. All right. I'm excited, man. This
So
round 2 is gonna
recap-
be really good.
Recap all the picks for us.
So you have Thunder in 6, Warriors in 6, Boston in 6, Cavs in 7.
Okay.
I've got Thunder in 6, Wolves in 7, Cavs in 7, Boston in 5.
Okay.
It's a little different.
Let us know what you got. What picks you got? Who you got and how many games?
Yeah.
If any of you say that any of these series are going to be a sweep, that's not going to
I've
happen.
got some serious questions.
Yeah,
for your
that's
knowledge.
not
I've
gonna
got
happen.
some
There's
serious-
just no shot. If we see a sweep in this round, I'll be like jarred.
Honestly, I think I would just stop potting because I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified if
True.
any of these are sweet.
This would be crazy, bro.
That'd be crazy, bro. Man, I'm just excited. So far, it's been great. It's gonna be great continuing. Who's been your MVP of the playoffs so far?
Ooh.
Before we get out of here.
Wow. What a question. I'd have to say a tie.
Okay.
And my tie is going to be Brunson and probably Jokic.
Okay.
Just those 2 teams aren't even sniffing where they are now
It's fair.
without
That's
those guys.
Yeah, if you're going at that from that perspective, I would agree. I think weirdly enough, Tyrese Halliburton has been my MVP so far, just because he's stepped up and absolutely just stole the soul of the Bucks
He did.
with no remorse.
They did.
And I think he just looks like a man on a mission.
And I want to give flowers to Halliburton. I thought we had the whole like shenanigans
That was
with
so
his dad,
messy.
but I thought he handled it really well.
Yeah, I think he did afterwards as well. I'm curious as
'cause
to
his
what
dad- because his dad wasn't wrong.
No. Yeah. I'm curious as what Giannis said to Mathurin that got him all upset at the end of that game. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I kind of got lost in the sauce of all the dad things, but they like had a cordial hug and then it just like
I think
turned into.
it's because he abbied him.
You think so?
Did Abby?
Think
him.
it was an Abby him?
He did.
I know. I saw it. Yeah. I just wasn't sure if that was the turning
So
point.
Mathurin had the same reaction I did.
Like, what do you think he whispered in his ear though?
Well, it doesn't matter because he sunned him.
That's crazy though. All right. I think we're
Probably
gonna
said you're not as good as you really think you are.
Maybe he was saying, "Come get me this offseason.
Nah.
Make it look like a fight."
Make it look like I just insulted you.
Oh man! All right, we're gonna get out of here. It's been a fun recap of the first round. Can't wait to talk about the second round once we're done. We'll be back once it is concluded. Not sure when that'll be, so we'll keep you guys updated as it comes along. But go ahead and go check out all our other videos. Drop another WWE video here this week. And then we've got some nerd coverage coming along with the Andor and Last of Us series. So go check that out as well. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming around the house. We will see you next time.